Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
Hello. Hi everyone.
Welcome to Virginia Tech, everyone, from the Hokie Bird and I.
Hello everyone.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hello everyone.
What's up everyone?
Hi everyone. Welcome to Virginia Tech in this virtual space.
Greetings from Blacksburg, Virginia from the Hokie Bird and I. My name is Pedro Baeza Martinez, and I serve as an admissions counselor in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions here at Virginia Tech. Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 outbreak and its impacts, we're coming to you from a virtual setting. We hope you are staying safe as we are too. I recruit in the states of Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Nevada. I can help you if you have any questions on the admissions process, anything about Virginia Tech, or anything about our applications. Know that we're here to help you, and we look forward to connecting with you. I hope you're staying safe. Go Hokies.
Thanks for joining myself and Hokie Bird here today in our virtual setting. My name's Taylor Brown, and I'm an admissions counselor here in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I primarily work with students from the state of Delaware, the Tidewater region of Virginia, and the Eastern Shore area of Maryland. Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions you may have as you're navigating your college application process. I'm happy to tell you all about life here at Virginia Tech. And remember, go Hokies.
My name is Samantha Hanna, and I'm an admissions counselor with the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. My territories include Florida, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. We welcome you today to this virtual space and would love to have you on campus when it is safe to do so. If you do have any questions regarding Virginia Tech, the application process, or really just anything, and you'd love to speak with me, I would welcome that opportunity. Please feel free to reach out anytime, and go Hokie.
Hello, I'm Rich Davis, and I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admissions here at Virginia Tech. So the regions that I cover are Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and Missouri, as well as Southwest Virginia, from the Roanoke Valley almost to Richmond. I want you to know that I'm here for you. If you're in any of my states or my regions, I'm available to you if you have any questions about the admissions process. And we look forward to hosting you.
And my name is Michael James. I'm an Assistant Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions here at Virginia Tech. Myself and the Hokie Bird are here to welcome you. Sorry we had to meet virtually like this, but we hope you all are staying safe and have had a great summer. I recruit the states of New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. I'm here to answer any questions that you all have about the admissions and application process, about campus, about student life here at Virginia Tech. We look forward to having you here at Open House, and feel free to reach out with any questions that you have about the university. Look forward to staying in touch.
My name is Luisa Burgos. I serve as Assistant Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. Nice to meet you virtually. We are very excited to host you here today. My territories are Baltimore County, Howard County, and Prince William County. And outside of that, one of my main roles in the office is our pipeline programs for our diversity and underrepresented students and marginalized backgrounds. We're very excited to have you here today. I'm here as a resource to answer any questions you may have about the application process, financial aid, campus life, or anything else you may want to learn about Virginia Tech. Go Hokies!
My name is Kayla St. Clair, and I serve as Senior Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions here. I'm joined by the Hokie Bird to just welcome you to campus. While we can't visit you in the ways that we normally would, we really want to make sure that you know that you can connect with us throughout this year. Whether you have questions about the admissions process, what campus life is like, or really just need to know what it will look like for you to be a Hokie, please reach out to us at any time. My territory includes the greater Charlottesville area here in Virginia, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Utah, and Wyoming. So please make sure that you're reaching out to me if you need anything throughout this year, and go Hokies.
My name is Jasmine Montano Aguilar, and I currently serve as an admissions counselor at the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I am here with the Hokie Bird to welcome you in this virtual setting. My territories are South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana. I really wish I was able to meet you in person at your school or your local college fair. However, I am always here to help you to answer any questions about the admissions process, campus life, or anything about Virginia Tech. Please make sure to contact me for any questions that you have. Go Hokies!
I'm Jared Delaney, Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions, and it's my privilege to coordinate many of our transfer-related admissions initiatives. So, if you're a prospective transfer student and you need assistance with the transfer process, the application, whatever it may be, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. Stay safe and go Hokies!
Hi everyone, my name is Jane Todd and I'm Associate Director here in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions.
My recruitment territories are Williamsburg and Yorktown, Virginia, along with some schools in surrounding counties. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. I am here for you and I want to work with you. Go Hokies!
My name is Donnell Wright. I'm an admissions counselor in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. We really wish we can have you here at today's campus, but we hope you remain safe and wear a mask. I serve the territories of Georgia, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, Kansas, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Nebraska, Alaska, and Hawaii. Hit me up if you have any questions about the admissions process and Hokie life here in Blacksburg, Virginia, and go Hokies.
My name is Danette Gomez-Bean. I am your recruiter for the whole state of California and the New River Valley of Virginia. And I am being overly cautious in making sure that I stay at a distance, but I'm here and accessible for you throughout the year as your recruiter. So if you need help with the application, if you have questions about admission or student life, I'd be the person that you'd want to contact. So thank you for having an interest in Virginia Tech, and go Hokies.
I'm Chris Thompson and I'm your admissions counselor for Southside, Southwest Virginia, North Carolina, and West Virginia. And we are being cautious this year and making sure that we wear our masks. Therefore, I'm sorry that I can't see you in person this year, but feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding admissions, Virginia Tech, or if you just want to talk about our student life. I'm looking forward to seeing you next year.
My name is Tyler Oxley. I am one of the Senior Assistant Directors here in the Undergraduate Admissions Office at Virginia Tech. I work primarily with international students or anyone who's studying outside of the U.S. I'm always happy to answer any questions you may have about the application process, programs we have here at Virginia Tech, or anything about the international student experience. Please feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'm always available. Thank you, and have a good day.
My name is Mario Cruz. I'm one of the Assistant Directors for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at Virginia Tech. Sorry we had to meet virtually. I hope you and your family are staying safe. My territories are Arlington, Alexandria, Loudoun, and Fairfax County in Virginia. I also recruit in Washington, D.C. and in the state of Maryland. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have about admissions, the application process, student life, and anything about Virginia Tech. So please feel free to reach out, and I look forward to working with you. Go Hokies!
My name is Steve Milley, and I'm the Richmond Regional Recruiter for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. I'm also responsible for the Fredericksburg and Northern Neck areas, so please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions at all during the application process. I'm sorry that we're only able to meet virtually, but we need to follow the guidelines so that we can once again meet face-to-face. But until that time, go Hokies!
Good morning and welcome to Virginia Tech. My name is Juan Espinosa and I'm the Associate Vice Provost and Director of Undergraduate Admissions. We are so excited to have you here today. We have families watching from all over the country and many places from around the world. I'm excited to talk to you about Virginia Tech because I really do believe it is a special place. I'm a graduate of Virginia Tech. I came here in the late 90s and still vividly remember my first visit. I'm originally from Northern Virginia, Burke, Virginia, in fact, and I attended Bishop O'Connell High School. So being from Northern Virginia, it's a bit of a hike. My older brother went to George Washington University, so it was my parents' hope that I would stay close to home as well. I convinced them to drive me down and check out Blacksburg, and being good parents, they did just that. I remember being on the road for some time when it seemed like all of a sudden the campus appeared. Stepping out of the car and looking at the buildings left me in awe that such a beautiful place could exist that was focused on learning and doing good. I felt like I was home. Now that many of you might be at this same point in the process, you might also be wondering why Virginia Tech. Well, let's talk about this. And let's start by focusing on what makes us unique and different from everyone else out there. First, we're a top 50 research institution and had over $500 million of research taking place right here in Blacksburg. That's important to realize because most universities are either going to be a research institution or a teaching institution. At a teaching institution, the main priority will be to do just that, teach. At a research institution, there are two priorities, not only to teach, but to also do research. Our professors need to be doing research here, and this leads to great opportunities for you to get some great experience from day one. As I mentioned earlier, I am a graduate of Virginia Tech. And my very first class here was Intro to Biology taught by Dr. George Simmons. I noticed a couple of things in that class that were a first for me. First, the book I had with me for that class was written by the professor. That was a first. You know they're going to know their stuff. They wrote 900 pages on it. The second was research. Dr. Simmons on that first day of class did a quick overview of his research. He was an expert in the area of Antarctica. He had a slideshow very similar to this, lots of pictures, lots of videos, and as you can expect, a lot of white, snow and ice. Some pictures were of him diving under the ice and taking soil samples, and then he came to his last picture of him surrounded by a group of about 15 individuals. And he looked at that class and asked, "Who do you think these people are?" It was the first day of class, so people were a little bit shy, but eventually someone raised their hand and made a guess. They were students. Yes, they were. But they were not PhD students. They weren't graduate students. They weren't upperclassmen. Dr. Simmons said the students in that picture were selected from his freshman biology class each year and traveled down with him to Antarctica. Blew my mind away there. My very first college class at Virginia Tech was an opportunity to go to Antarctica. Now, I hate the cold, so I had zero desire to go, but it was amazing to see an opportunity like that, again, so early in my academic career. Some of my classmates did go, and it had a life-changing impact. Second area we take a lot of pride in is going to be in community, ut prosum, which is Latin for that I may serve. It's a real thing here. Now, many schools, they have slogans and mottos, and in many cases, they don't even know what it means. It's different here. Ut prosum is woven into the heart of every Hokie. We are constantly trying to find new ways to help others, whether it's building bridges in Haiti or spending time building well in a small Bolivian village. Our outreach is strong and focused on making this world a better place. Our big event is a great example of our students giving back to our local community. On that weekend, over 7,000 students volunteered to give back to our neighbors here in Blacksburg and Christiansburg. Lastly, our strong school spirit is an area we take a lot of pride in. Prior to this role, I oversaw international recruitment efforts. I consider myself very lucky in that area because I was able to travel to over 80 different countries, many of those on behalf of Virginia Tech. Now, can I tell you something pretty cool? No matter where I was in the world, no matter how remote that country might be, Azerbaijan, Poland, Kosovo, I always came across somebody affiliated with Virginia Tech. You know how I was able to recognize them? That's right, our colors. They were Chicago maroon and burnt orange. Our alumni wear our colors because they are proud to show off their affiliation to our school. Please know that we have an alumni base that is over 300,000 people strong and growing every year. If you decide to come here, you tap into a network that is truly global. This will help you not only when it comes time to look for a job, with Hokies for Hire, for instance, but for lots of other reasons. Realize that as a Hokie, no matter where you are in the world, there will be a friendly face nearby rooting for your success. They are part of our Hokie nation, and we look forward to welcome you as part of that too. Now let's talk about the admissions process. We've made some changes this past year, really the last couple of years, so I want to make sure we take some time to review some of those changes. Realize almost all of these changes were created with you in mind. The focus on identifying and removing any barriers that might exist to students. No matter how small that barrier might be, we wanted to try, again, to either minimize it or remove it. Please know, again, all of these changes were made with the student in mind. We're a land-grant institution. We were created to be accessible, and we need to be accessible and also have a fair admissions process. Now, one of the first changes we did this past year is we decided to join the Common Application, which is comprised of a group of more than 900 colleges and universities around the country, including the majority of colleges in Virginia. In fact, all the flagships in Virginia are using the Common App. Please know that we'll continue to offer the Coalition application, giving you two great choices and ways to apply to Virginia Tech. We don't have a preference between the two, so whichever is easier for you. Once you submit your application, the next step is filling out our self-reported academic record, the SRAR. We were the first institution in Virginia that allowed applicants to self-report their grades and test scores. Going back to that initial brainstorming session of removing barriers, we heard from students that more and more schools were charging them to send transcripts to colleges, and those fees were starting to add up. Another complaint that we heard from some students were that they were at the mercy of testing services or their school to send in the required information. There were years when we canceled around 3,000 applications because we never received that information, and we were missing either test scores or a transcript. That's 3,000 students that were never even reviewed, sometimes due to the mistake of their school or of the testing agency. Now you have complete ownership of the process. After you submit your application, you'll be prompted to go to this website and fill out your courses and grades. It's very easy to use. Another benefit is that it's reducing the time it takes for your application to become complete. In previous years, it took about 8 to 9 weeks from the moment you submitted the application to when that file was complete, meaning when we received the transcript and test scores and everything was matched up. This past year, we reduced that to about 2 days. Now that you've submitted both the application and the SRIR, you're done. Nothing is needed from the school, and the review process begins. For many years, a lot of focus has been placed on grades and test scores. I have some issues with that. You're more than grades and test scores, don't you agree? Although what you do in the classroom is extremely important and something we're going to look at, I would argue what you're doing outside the classroom is just as important. We're trying to evaluate you not only as a student, but as a person. So let's dive into our review process. But let's start with a focus on the academic side first. Not many changes on the academic side. We'll still focus on your grades, your course rigor, and test scores if you opt to have that as part of your review process. Note that when we're focusing on your grades, we're not focusing on your GPA. GPA is no longer a reliable indicator of a student's academic achievement. It means different things to different people. We just can't rely on it. So instead of focusing on your GPA, we're going to be looking at your actual letter grades. And we're looking for a healthy mix of A's and B's. Next, we're going to be focusing on your course selection. We love to see AP, IB, and dual enrollment. So keep that in mind as you work on your schedules. Research has shown that this is a great predictor of success and something that we pay close attention to in the review process. When it comes to test scores, please note that we are test optional this year. You will note on the application if you would like test scores included in the review of your application. Now, we have been placing less and less emphasis on test scores in the review process, so please know that. I should also note that if you update your SRIR with SAT scores, even though you indicated that you wanted to be score optional, we will review your application with that piece of information. So don't send us scores or report scores if you would like to be reviewed without the SAT or ACT scores. As far as the personal side of what we're looking at, we'll be focusing on many factors. Now, some of these factors you have control over, but some of them you don't. Again, as a land-grant institution, it's important that we recognize first-generation students in our process. First generation means neither parent finished with a 4-year degree here in the United States. Next, we look at your involvement, leadership, and achievements. Leadership is a great predictor of success. But don't necessarily think of that standard traditional definition of leadership. Class president, etc. Leadership can be defined in so many different ways. Outside of your school and sports, in your neighborhood community, and even in your own family. And an important aspect of this part of the review is the non-cognitive review. We've introduced new essay questions that will allow us to gauge some predictors of success. These questions will allow us to measure your ability to make goals, your commitment to service, your leadership potential, and your ability to overcome obstacles and your resilience. Here are some important deadlines. Remember, early decision is binding, so don't select that unless you are 100% sure that you want to be a Virginia Tech Hokie. Early action is by far our most popular option. About 80% of applicants selected this past year. And regular decision is our final option, but please be aware that there are several programs that would be based on space availability. So if you know you're interested in Virginia Tech, don't wait for a regular decision. Don't wait too long. Now, it's obvious that COVID-19 has impacted our process. I know this process is stressful, but know it will work out. You will be okay. Any changes that your school or school system has made during this time, we will accommodate them. I know there are a lot of concerns about how competitive the admissions process will be this year due to so many students deferring admission from this past cycle. Is it true? Do we have more students defer? Yes, it is. Typical year, we get about 70 defers. This current year, we got almost 300 students deferring their admission to the following term. But it's still a small fraction of the total number of students that we are seeking in our freshman class. We also gave many of these students the opportunity to take classes at their local community college, and they're doing just that. So what we'll find is that many of these students will be reclassified as transfer students once they join our university. In addition, I want to tell you that due to the fact that many colleges missed enrollment targets, that you shouldn't be stressed that this process will be harder. I actually predict the exact opposite will occur. Many of these colleges are going to be trying to fill this extra capacity with this year's class. Again, I recognize that these are difficult times, but I am confident that we will get through them, and we'll do it together. Please, our admissions team views ourselves as guides and wants to guide you during this process. Don't hesitate to reach out if you should have any questions. We take pride in our accessibility, and we stand ready, again, to help you. So you survived my presentation, hopefully less confused and maybe with a better idea of next steps. You can follow us on these handles. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my handle is Juan Morojoki. Get it? Juan Morojoki. I have like 5 followers, and my mom is one of them, so join the party. Thank you again for taking the time to check us out. We are truly honored you're considering Virginia Tech. I ask you again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great day, and go Hokies.